Welcome back to World Insight. Let's go now to Washington. Barack Obama was sworn in on Tuesday as the 44th U.S. president. He's made history as the first African American to make it to the White House. As he takes office, the expectation of a world crying out for strong leadership weighs heavily on one man's shoulders.
January 20th, a date full of hope and change.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
A journey tracing the route of Abraham Lincoln.
And I will execute
faithfully the office of President of the United States.
President of the United States faithfully.
In the midst of crisis.
And will, to the best of my ability.
With eyes watching, full of expectation.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
The 47-year-old Democrat, Barack Obama, is sworn in as the first African-American president. He raised the hopes of millions. Now it's time for him to fulfill his promises. But the question is, how much can he achieve?
That we are in the midst of crisis is now well understood. Our nation is at war against a far-reaching network of violence and hatred. Our economy is badly weakened, a consequence of greed and irresponsibility on the part of some, but also our collective failure to make hard choices and prepare the nation for a new age.
Barack Obama launched his presidency talking of a new era of responsibility. He hopes to restore a national value system that can unite the people and go beyond the differences of party, race, or creed.
In Obama's inauguration speech, he emphasizes unity more rather than change, the slogan he used in the campaign. It shows that he's practical in his policy. He wants a unity government to work efficiently on the domestic economic recovery. He also pursues a harmonious political atmosphere with other nations. After reaching these goals, he can carry out his political idea on change.
His most daunting challenge is restoring the health of the faltering U.S. economy. Much of Obama's efforts in his first weeks in office will focus on passing what could be a trillion-dollar economic stimulus plan. As unemployment continues to rise to a 16-year high of 7.2%, Obama plans to save or create 3 to 4 million jobs by 2010.
Obama puts the employment problem high on his stimulus plan, which may quickly build public confidence. For GDP growth, it needs more time, so he combined his ambitious stimulus plan with a plan to improve the people's livelihood, and it's feasible.
A new poll shows up to 80% of Americans have expressed confidence in Obama, and about 71% back the president's new policies.
Well, I think the first thing he's got to do is address the economy. I think right now being in banking, I understand the issues that are there. I think if he starts to stabilize the country and get us on some sound footing, and then all the other issues will take care of themselves as well.
The pressure Obama faces also comes from the American people's goodwill towards him. He warned that recovery will not come soon.
Now, given the magnitude of these challenges, none of this is going to come easy. Recovery is not going to happen overnight. It's likely that even with the reinvestment package that we're putting forward, even with the measures that we're taking, things could get worse before they get better. I want everybody to be realistic about this.
High expectations from the international community will keep Obama busy dealing with a growing list of foreign policy challenges.
We will begin to responsibly lead Iraq to its people and forge a hard-earned peace in Afghanistan. With old friends and former foes, we will work tirelessly to lessen the nuclear threat and roll back the specter of a warming planet. We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense. And for those who seek to advance their aims by inducing terror and slaughtering innocents, we say to you now that our spirit is stronger and cannot be broken. You cannot outlast us, and we will defeat you.
Obama did not provide a specific timetable for a U.S. withdrawal, but under a U.S.-Iraqi agreement, the troops would depart by the end of 2011.
To an end in 2009.
He has promised to increase U.S. troop strength in Afghanistan to turn back a resurgent Taliban. Another major issue is continuing dialogue with the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and Iran on nuclear proliferation. Compared to Bush's administration, some analysts say Obama's foreign policy is flexible.
Safe havens for terrorists that have been established there.
President Obama pledges to rebuild the U.S. image. This is also what the U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton called smart power. The U.S. will strengthen ties with its alliance, emphasizing their common interests. It will encourage cooperation with emerging countries, but will remain cautious in its relations. Obama's administration will be willing to talk with countries on the so-called axis of evil, but will guard its principles. It's a big change compared to the rigid stance of the Bush administration. Although, as always, the priority will be to maintain America's leading position in the world.
Smart power is what Harvard professor Joseph Nye called a mix of soft and hard power. It is a modern version of Teddy Roosevelt's philosophy of speaking softly while wielding a big stick. And it seems to be an emerging theme of the new administration. On the second full day of Obama's presidency, he ordered the closing of Guantanamo Bay prison camp within a year, the shutting down of secret overseas CIA prisons, the banning of torture, and orders naming new envoys to the Middle East as well as Afghanistan and Pakistan. Analysts say Obama moved quickly to reshape U.S. national security policy to rebuild the U.S. image. Daunting challenges stand right before this young, energetic president. And allies and foes alike will be closely watching Barack Obama for indications on how he will make a break with the 8 years of the Bush administration and put his own stamp on American foreign policies of the future.
The Obama era seemed blessed from its very beginning. The inauguration ceremony saw an unprecedented, massive audience, and the new president's speech was well received. But the real test of this Obama administration lies ahead in his real performance during his first 4 years in office. Coming up next, we talk about another man, Martin Luther King.